Good evening, everyone. My name is Mensah Alkebu-Lan. I'm an engineer at Universal Equations. So let's review. We're going to view an article from Paul Daugherty. He's the chief technology and innovation guru at Accenture. Very, very successful company. They've been at the forefront of technology and innovation for a very long time. Very successful company. The article he's published and that's been published in the Sloan Review, which is one of the really solid MIT publications, is dealing with the post-digital era. So before we get there, let's talk about the digital era a little bit, and that's where we are presently. Now, in the technology space, it's agreed upon that there are four technologies that kind of build up that kind of make up the foundation of what we call digital transformation. And we identify those technologies with an acronym called SMAC. That's SMAC. S is social, M is mobile, A is analytics, C is cloud computing. And a number of these technologies you've probably heard before. We can talk about any one of these four for any given length of time, but we don't have that time today. We'll do it another time. So, two things about this. One is the enormous amount of investment that's going into these technologies, that's going into digital transformation. Paul gives the number of $1.25 trillion in 2019 alone, which I don't have to tell you is not a small number. The next thing, basically, it has to do just with competitive advantage. Paul gives the argument that basically companies that want to be successful have to have had these technologies mastered and will have to be able to build on top of these technologies to create a customer experience that sets you apart from your competitors. And it's if you're at a I mean right now, if you're at a company of any size, at a 9 to 5, someone in that C-suite or someone in a leadership position is either implementing a plan or coming up with a plan for digital transformation. It's just a necessity at this point. So the next logical step is Paul asked the question of, okay, where do we go from here? So that's where we get into the post-digital era, where he shares another acronym called DARQ. That's DARQ. D stands for distributed ledgers. And as you might guess, that does include the blockchain technologies. And A is for artificial intelligence. Big thing. Most, if not all, of your big tech companies are currently and will continue to build artificial intelligence, whether it's Oracle or Google or whoever, will continue to build artificial intelligence into their applications. So artificial intelligence is a very broad field. It's not just C3PO type creations. It embodies a lot, and at some point we'll be able to go through a lot of this stuff. Now the R, unfortunately, we got to move on. So the R is a extended reality that does include the virtual reality. That includes the guys that walk around with the big black goggles and are able to be at baseball games or be at the beach. Some companies are interested in trying to use this technology for shopping. I mean, being able to put on a pair of these goggles and essentially walk around a department store like Macy's or Nordstrom's, which obviously would be very attractive to companies, like this. The last one, last but not least, is the quantum computing. This one is probably one of the more experimental, but as the name suggests, people are trying to find more efficient ways of computing things. The computations are becoming a lot more complex. So with that complexity, you want more computational power, and that's where the and the article goes into this with some of the technologies that IBM has been able to come up with for this. And there's a lot of applications for quantum computing. And again, we won't be able to get into this right now. So that's essentially what I wanted to review with you all. Hopefully, you will read the article. It's not that long. I think I think if you're in this space, you'll enjoy it. I love speaking I love speaking with you all. Again, this is Mensah Alkebu-Lan at Universal Equations. Peace.